Good morning. Today, or good afternoon. Today is April 2nd. Totally misspelled that. Today is April 2nd. Today's lesson is going to be about multiplying and dividing integers. Again, integers are negative or positive whole numbers. Just like yesterday, if I highlight it, then this is something that you should want to write down. Take out a paper, take out pencil, go ahead and write notes. You will be able to use these notes during your IXL practice after the video. So let's go ahead and look at this. Integers can also be multiplied and divided using an algorithm. Like I said yesterday, it sounds like such a complicated word, but an algorithm is basically a set of rules. So we have rules that we use when we are when we are multiplying and dividing integers. So when I multiply or divide two numbers, if the signs are the same, then the answer is positive. You will write this down. If the signs are the same, the answer is positive. So that means a positive times a positive is a negative, but a negative times a negative is also a positive. Okay, if the signs are different, then the answer is negative. Remember, you write down what I highlighted. If the signs are different, then the answer is negative. So if I multiply a positive and a negative, I get a negative. If I multiply a negative and a positive, which is the same thing but backwards, my answer is still going to be a negative. Now, what I showed you guys in class when we did this, I showed you guys my sleepy man. Let's do that better. My sleepy man. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I still see is that we want to use the sleepy man when we're adding or subtracting, but it does not work. And I'm going to say that again. Does not work for adding and subtracting. Sleepy man, my sleepy man, only works for multiplication and division. That's the reason I write that on the side, so that I know it only works for multiplication and division, not addition and subtraction. So one question I still get a lot is, how do I use a sleepy man? Well, let's say I have the problem -2 times +4. Okay, well, I know 2 times 4, just like a regular problem, is 8. But I see I have a negative and a positive. So I'm going to pretend like I'm using my hand to cover the negative times the positive. Whoa, what's going on there? I have no idea why that's happening. Okay, let's try something else. So let's say I'm using my hand to cover the negative and the positive. So that goes away. If I cover the negative and the positive, all I have left is a negative. So that means my answer has to be -8. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, let's say I have, let me add a page here. Let's say I have -4 times -4. Okay, so if I go by the rule, just memorizing the rule, I see I have a negative times a negative, so I know that's a positive. Let me use my sleepy man. If I have a negative and a negative, I'm going to circle, or with my hand, cover the two eyes, pretend that those go away, negative and a negative. So now what am I left with? Well, I'm left with positive. 4 times 4 is 16. So my answer is positive 16. And that's my answer. Now, other thing I want to review, because you will see this on your IXL. Write this down. A division sentence can be represented. So I'm highlighting this because this means you are going to write this down. Okay, one way I can show a division sentence is by saying A divided by B, right? Using the division sign, we know that. The second way I can show this is by writing, well, A divided by B, right? First number goes in, second number goes out. The third way, and I've said this thousands of times, I think I can confidently say thousands of times in my class, you can also write a division sentence with a fraction, A divided by B. All of these three mean the exact same thing. So in your IXL, if they give you a problem that says negative 24 divided by 6, well, that's really the same thing as either one of these. Okay, it's still a division sentence, even though it's a fraction. Okay, so what you are going to do now, you are going to take the time, just like we did yesterday, add a page. You're going to work on IXL, and you are going to do N9 and N11. I will also be posting this, okay? N9 and N11. Yesterday, I got a really good question if you were doing 6th or 7th grade. You are doing 6th grade. Okay? If you guys have any questions, go ahead and send me a message on the chat box. I will also be live during the video chat, so you can just jump on the video chat if you have a question and just ask me right away. Also, make sure you complete the brain teaser for today. That'll kind of be like our do now, I guess you can think about it. Think about the brain teaser. It's meant to tease you, so think carefully. All right, guys, message me if you have any questions.